Here's how we're starting to get used to seeing columns installed on houses. Either there's no beam like here and here. And these websites, they sell columns, by the way. Or the beam is substantially wider than the column cap, like here. And the purpose of this photo is to sell the rain chain, which I like. But still, I have two words for these egregious design flaws. And I hope that you'll join me in spreading those two words. Well, let me let Bob Newhart express them.
I'm going to say two words to you right now. I want you to listen to them very, very carefully. Then I want you to take them out of the office with you and incorporate them into your life.
Well, shall I write them down?
Well, if it makes you comfortable, it's just two words. We find most people can remember them.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
Okay, here they are.
Stop it!
I'm sorry?
Stop it!
Stop it?
Yes, S-T-O-P, new word, I-T.
Located across the street from one of my favorite burger joints, which is in Waynesville, North Carolina, is this building. And the way the columns and the entablatures are laid out is a little quirky, but the ability to see their interaction got my attention. Now for discussion, it's the closest thing I've come to seeing a full-size cut section without actually cutting a section. And from what I've learned from the Institute of Classical Architecture and Art, as well as other AIBD classicists and traditionalists, the proportions are pretty close to perfect. Now here's a remodeling project I did many years ago in Washington, D.C. Now because the house comes from an era when the builders still followed the traditions, this was a perfect opportunity for me to see how well I learned and understood my limited classical training. In this case, I first began the construction drawings by drawing my cut sections. My focus was finding a center line that everything in the assembly could line up over. The beam, the column, and the support, all sprung from that line. Then, as you can see here, the other drawings reference the center line when dimensioning to the other building elements. And here's how it turned out. Now, in the case of the commercial building in Waynesville, the friezes outside aligns with the column shaft upper portion. Now the frieze is the center portion of the entablature. There's the cornice at the top, the frieze, and the architrave at the bottom. Now my project's beam was thinner than the column was at the top. And it looks best when they're both the same width, but I had an existing beam to match, and my predecessors were still correct. Traditional design specifies that the entablature, the beam, be at least 2/3 the diameter of the top of the column, which is less than the diameter of the column base. That change is called entasis. Now where can you find these terms, proportions, and the like? Here are the two books I often refer to, The Visual Dictionary of Architecture and Get Your House Right. They both teach more than just the classical orders, and they both can be found at aibd.org/building-designer-books. So when somebody asks you, why does this matter? Well, here's what Mary Ann Casado writes in her book, Get Your House Right. It matters because design matters. Design makes a difference. Design principles, from the big picture issue of the planet to the details of the orders, work together to create the places we call home. What's more, the value of a place grows exponentially when the design is more than functional. Design cannot be quantified on a spreadsheet, but it absolutely can help the bottom line. Thanks for watching this entire video, and have a triumphant week.